Hi everyone, it's Phil again and the ever faithful Wellington, who I think has managed to super glue himself to my head because he never seems to be off of it. One of the people I'm getting to know quite well did say it looks bloody stupid, but you try telling that to an African grey that wants to be with you. It's much easier to have him with you. Anyway guys, this morning something different happened in one of the groups. There was a lady who said that she lived next to this gentleman and that he was an ethnic minority and he was making her life absolutely hell. Every time she tried to stand up for herself, he would play the race card, call the police or the council, and it doesn't matter what he does, he gets away with it. Whatever she does, she gets into trouble. She doesn't live far from me. I'm thinking this is what BritishWarriorWithin.com was made for. It's made to protect people when they are being intimidated by people who fail to integrate in this country. So my thinking is, what's the best way of going about this? Obviously, not everybody lives... Sorry, there's always something on my screen. Not everybody lives local to me, that's for sure. Most people live a long, long way away. So, unless I go around on my own, which is always a dangerous thing to do because you always need somebody to back you up and what's said anyway. Going to need to really work at getting some new members into the fold. Because if something happens up your way and you're on your own, it's defeating the object of it if we can't actually react and go and say what we want to say to these people. There's no need to be turning up with baseball bats. All that's probably needed is to verbally tell him that this is unacceptable and to leave this woman alone, and just to make it clear that there are consequences to behaving like an animal and behaving like you run the world already. I know you're trying to do it, but you haven't quite done it yet. It's not intimidation. It will be a case of going and talking to the guy or to the whole of his family if that's what he wants, if he's got 600 nephews. Excuse me. You've turned it off, you bastard, haven't you? Oh no, he hasn't. I just called my parrot a bastard on film. That's not very nice, is it? But never mind. Right, I'm totally off track now. I should restart this, but I can't be bothered. Yeah, we need more people because it's no good saying every time, right, can you come down 300 miles just to deal with this? We go to the address and the person's not in. It won't be great. There was a train of thought on the Facebook group that we should perhaps send him letters, but I don't know whether that's a good buy anyway, because that's from an unknown person. That can be classed as intimidation, when all we want to do is to let them know that we won't accept this kind of behaviour in this country anymore, to try and nip it all in the bud. I know the police will probably say, no, you can't do that. Yeah, we can, as long as we're not being threatening, as long as we're not being intimidating, as long as they don't feel under threat. We've got to do it in a sensible way. If they become violent towards us, if they're outside of their property, then we have the right to use reasonable force to defend ourselves. But that is a case of we must not be on their property. I should have done this after I had my coffee, shouldn't I? So we have to go very careful, but there was one lady on the group, all she was saying, oh, if you do that, then he'll play the victim card, and you mustn't do anything. Fighting with fire never works. And it's like, well, we've been doing nothing for decades now, and look where it's got us. Got to do something. And initially, that is talk to people. That's what we are about initially. Protecting British citizens and talking to the Islamic population and telling them we're not going to stand for your crap no more. They can take heed or they can not take heed. Then it moves up another level, which they take it out of our hands. If they won't listen to common sense, they won't listen to somebody's point of view, which we all know they're not going to, because there's only one point of view, and that's Allah and Muhammad's, isn't it? I sounded like Al Jolson. Never mind. Most of you don't know who Al Jolson is. God, I ramble. Yeah, I'm determined not to get uptight about these things anymore. Yeah, right, that's going to happen. But we do need to push for this membership. I've actually established the English Defence Militia, as I like to call it now, because I think we should be ready to defend if a civil war kicks off, which is highly likely. Don't know when. Within 5 years, I would say, if not a lot sooner. Can you defend yourself? I've been speaking to others, and they say they've got this and they've got that, and we're totally underarmed, as it were, if there was a civil war, including myself, because you can't have things that are illegal, which is understandable in a time of peace and tranquility and non-Islamic invasion, but it's a pain in the arse when it looks like you'll be fighting armed hordes of Islamists, armed with probably modern day weaponry that they're hiding in their mosques. We all know it, the police know it, the politicians know it. The difference is they don't care, because they daren't say anything, because all the other countries might think that we're being racist. As somebody pointed out today, Islam or Muslims aren't even a race. It's not a race of people. Being a Muslim is a type of religion, but Islam is an ideology added onto that. But they're not a race of people. A lot of them are Arabs. Most of them are probably Arabs. That's their race. So if we call somebody a dirty Arab, that's being racist. But if we call somebody a dirty Muslim, that isn't being racist. Technicality, I know. But it would probably stand up in court if push came to shove. Well, no, it wouldn't in this country, because it's a load of bollocks. They're all Islamic apologists. I don't understand where it's going, why it's going this way. Again, apart from the globalism point, it's where the globalists want it to go. So that's why we've got to start pushing back. Because if we don't push back, you've got people with billions and billions of pounds, dollars, whatever you want to think that the money they're dealing with is, to do whatever they want. We've just got our grit, our determination, and the thought of saving our families, our country, and living in a place, for me, in the later years of my life, which I'll be going into quite soon, too soon for my liking. I want to live it peacefully. I don't want to be worried everywhere I go. Again, I saw somebody on one of the groups had put how they were so scared going to work, and this is a guy. And I don't hold that against them. I don't think, oh, you wimp. If I lived in a heavily Islamic area, every time I went out I'd be concerned what's going to come around the corner. I think that's totally natural, and you shouldn't be afraid to say that you're fearful. But you've got to overcome the fear, which this guy does, because he must go to work. So, well done to you, mate. You're overcoming it, even though you are fearful. And that's what we've got to overcome, this fear. My biggest fear is probably your biggest fear. It's not the Islamists. It's actually the government. It's the police. The people that will come and take your livelihood away from you by you being arrested. That's the one thing that lot have got over us. most of the bastards don't work. Me, I can't work now, but I did my time. Got a disability now, and but I did my time. I worked hard. These probably never worked in their life. So, if you can, please try and employ, well, not employ because they ain't paying you, try and encourage new members to the group. It doesn't matter where you are in the country. If you're speaking to somebody on the net, for all you know, they might come from Sussex. Because I need a bit of backup down here, because I haven't come across anybody apart from this woman who's having a problem with the guy. I feel like this could turn into War and Peace, because I feel like talking all day today. I feel like David Icke. Have you ever watched David Icke? You ought to. It's eye-opening. Some of his stuff's a bit out there and hard to believe, but when you listen to most of his stuff, which is believable, provable, researchable, you have to then start believing possibly some of that out there stuff could be true. Who's to say we didn't come from reptiles from another planet, because we don't know. But to be fair, that's probably his only quite real out there statement. But he was a laughing stock 20 years ago. I laughed at him. I thought he was a twat. Thing is, he was ahead of his time. Everything he predicted, virtually everything he predicted, almost without fail, has happened. And how he finds out these things, I really don't know. Again, it's researchable, provable, because if things aren't researchable and provable, they mean absolutely nothing. That's any statement I make on these groups, anything that I put up, it's provable. Somebody doubted me yesterday on the Austrian bit, the Austrian president, saying that the women are going to be made to wear headscarves. Yeah, admittedly he's saying in the future, which I probably didn't quite make clear, but it's what he's saying. It's not when it's going to happen, it's what is going to happen. And this guy, he just bollocks. So I just copied and pasted the internet site, and there it was, President of Austria. Funny enough, he didn't answer again. Don't know why. Don't like being made to look foolish, I suppose. But if Austria are doing that, Christ, there's going to be other countries do it, because they're a Germanic type nation, aren't they? But then again, look at Germany. Waste of fucking space. I think there's a lot of undergrounds going on in these countries. The Germans are pretty good at that, about keeping secret groups and not so secret groups. But they're so worried about the Nazis and being tarnished for that. Like everybody is now. We're all Nazis if we love Britain. That's what it boils down to. If you love Britain and you want Britain to stay British, you're a Nazi. That's ridiculous. Some of these liberal, leftist, arse-wank, toss arse-hats. Oh, it blows your mind. I watched something on video and it's like, what do you look like? What kind of life are you living in? What world is it? What's it like in your world? Are there unicorns and fairies dancing around? Because if they need some space, there's probably plenty in your head. Certainly isn't a brain in there doing sensible thinking. Incredible. Alright, again, I've got to keep this to 15 minutes. Just in case, because it's been going on the wrong channel every bloody time. I think I've started another channel. Oh, I'm whinging now, sorry. Okay guys, this is going to be aimed for the British Warrior Within guys. Also now part of the English Defence Militia. We try to do a video for that very soon. I've done one, but I need to do a proper one. So I'll speak to you guys later. I'll hopefully get this put up on the internet today, and hopefully spend a bit of time watching it, because it's gone very quiet. You lot have gone very quiet. See you later. See you later.